His arm stands poised, his mind at peace, his plane crafted with perfection.
Oh, come on, Ryan.
He moves at the speed of light and it takes off! See how it soars, see how it...
Huh? Landed right on the chapel's hedge. Definitely crafted with perfection.
I can't win with one-ply paper.
That's still 5 points for you.
What? You got 15 and it barely touched the pavement.
When you're the game maker, you can decide the rules.
Oh, these aren't rules. They're lies.
Fine. I'll change it to 5.5.
Oh, come on.
I can give you more, but you'll just have to persuade me first.
Oh, Mr. Veen, Gullford will hear of this corruption.
Not before the year of your bad spelling. No, I'm surprised you were even hired.
I wasn't hired for my spelling, but rather for my charming countenance.
I bet you can't even spell that. Now, Ryan, the stakes have just risen. Whoever hits the purple herd wins.
The what?
The Ladies' Brigade. Let's knock their perms clean off. Ha.
Wait, what's wrong with the Ladies' Brigade?
They a herd of stiff-lipped, beady-eyed, shoulder-padded snobs. Honestly, the 90s ended like a year ago.
Oh, come on, I can't ruin my reputation with them. I think they're very nice, actually. They organized the whole town to give me boxes of these pastries. I could open my own bakery if I wanted to.
You know, I'm actually not surprised. Gullford just loves sinking their claws into fresh blood. Especially if they're male.
Oh, especially if they're handsome male.
If only I could wrap the town around my little finger.
Yeah, I might as well be my uncle.
Who?
What?
What?
Well, my pantry is just simply too small for my charm. So.
Oh, come on, Casanova. If you can hit a bush, you can hit a buffalo.
I can't ruin my reputation with them. They gave me free tickets to the fish fair.
You sneaky thing. I have to butter them up just to get a discount.
Well, I mean, I've been buttering you up and getting nowhere.
I prefer margarine. Turn up those tunes, Ryan. This plane is bombing a perm. Ryan!
I didn't do anything!
Oh, it went right in the cemetery. On a gargoyle.
I barely touched the CD player. I can't help that everything shatters in my presence. Okay, come on, Dee Dee. Listen, I'll buy you an MP3 player. They're way more cool. This old thing's obviously broken.
She's not broken, and her name is Sadie. She just doesn't like strangers, particularly shady strangers.
How does...
What are you hiding, Ryan Richards? Get rid of those planes and any signs of idleness.
Okay. When I reassure Sadie of my innocence, will you promise to come with me to the fish fair?
And cause a mob. Clench the doorknob. The whole town will think we're courting, and I'll be accused of bewitching you.
But Gullford surely isn't the pitchforks and knives type of people, are they?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Small towns crave scandals.
Bloody door. If we don't fix this bloody door, we're moving to a tent.
Good morning, Mr. Fontaine. A bigger office would work in our favor.
And so would a barista. And close the windows. I should sue for the stench.
We need the ventilation. Unless you want to faint again.
Oh, that was my blood pressure, not the air.
Mr. Fontaine, thank you for this opportunity.
Roland, finally. The septic tank is at the back of the building.
What?
This rancid smell has been clawing at death's door, you know.
Oh no, I'm not here for.
It's an abomination that Gullford sewage is stored on my grounds. This is a newspaper, not a dump.
I think you're mistaken, sir. I'm not.
Smell for yourself. The place reeks of sea air that's full of shit.
Mr. Fontaine! He's not here to pick up sewage. He's the new intern.
You hired me last week.
Oh, yes, Robert.
Ryan,
Yes, Mr.
Richards.
Mr. Richards, yes. The one with hair like a toupee. Welcome to the Pelican. Now, I can be poetic and say that we are the beak by which Gullford is fed, but unfortunately, Gullford is a darn picky eater. We give them worms and they expect dirt. We give them dirt and they expect the very flesh of our being, and when you give them that, they expect your carcass. Oh, Mr. Veen, 3 sugars next time, please.
Your blood pressure, Mr. Fontaine.
well, that does sound quite ghastly.
Oh, it's a disgrace, Mr. Richards. She treats me like I'm some sort of child.
Well, don't blame me when you drop dead. I won't
No, I'm
write
not
your
talking about the
obituary.
blood pressure. I'm talking about Gullford.
Well, both have caused horrors in this place. And speaking of horrors, where is Miss Sharple? Has she received the call?
She's not replying. The one thing I hate more than shoulder pads is suspense.
You know, I do have an odd feeling that the call will be favorable. Though it could just be my back acting up again.
Your arthritis does always bring us good news. If so, we have to celebrate.
What are we celebrating?
The day the lost is found and the found will be published. You see, Mr. Richards, certain people try to clip our wings because we seek the truth. And we can't feed the town on lies. So hopefully today we'll be able to soar past all of that. Paper planes. Who's been making paper planes with my paper? It's disturbing enough to see the Pelican used for fish parcels, but this,
Oh, we
this
thought
is
the office
just...
could do with some decorations. Right, Ryan?
Yes, like baubles on a Christmas tree.
Well, baubles my bunion. The Pelican hasn't aged a day.
Oh, well, tell that to the door next time you get trapped overnight.
Oh, enough with your yapping. You've not only desecrated the golden print of intellect, but desecrated Griffin's fish haven.
Ryan, that's for the new edition.
You know what? I post a retraction. You have full reign to do whatever you want, but only with Griffin's advertisements.
You can't say that, Mr. Fontaine. Todd Griffin pays a lot of money for those ads. Oh, and he asked if that one can go onto the front page.
Asked? He's never asked the damn question in his life. He bombards my paper with his fish products and wants my front page.
Blood pressure. He's coming in later today, so you can sort it out then.
Wait, Todd Griffin's coming here later today.
Every bloody Monday. He wants to pierce the Pelican with that hawk eye of his.
But, okay, then surely putting him on the front page will be good publicity for the Pelican. I mean, he is mayor after all. Why elect someone if he can't please a crowd, you know?
Of course you'd say that, Mr. Richards. My front page will not be tarnished by his advertisements. You see, the Pelican isn't a catalogue. It's a cog needed to move the town towards truth. His fish industries have already rusted the very core of Gullford. In fact, they've...
You can't eat those, Mr. Fontaine. It has custard.
No, you already control my coffee, you tyrant.
No, but you surely have a choice to publish Todd Griffin's ads.
If we had a choice, then we wouldn't publish any of his advertisements. But his talons are far too deep in the Pelican.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying.
Todd Griffin's ads cover most of our expenses. He's basically the Pelican's benefactor.
He's a bloody vulture is what he is.
Okay.
And if it weren't for that vulture, we wouldn't be the beak by which Gullford is fed.
All right. I get it. Tea time is over. Now, get back to work. We've got a paper to print before that bloody fish fair on Friday. So, Mr. Richards, over here. The paper's children's section, the gullies, needs complete renovation. The cartoons are dry, the crosswords are incredulously difficult, and there's just no color.
And who wants to buy a black and white newspaper? Am I right?
For now, refrain from anything controversial, especially the sirens.
Sirens?
Yes, the sirens.
Why are sirens controversial in Gullford? I mean, I know they don't make nice sounds, but why is that?
Not the sound, the fish, you buffoon.
What?
Fish.
Where?
Oh, the sirens are fish.
Oh, I'm so sorry. See, back up north, we call them mermaids.
Yes,
so.
yes. The North always glamorizes everything. Now, your taste better be to my liking. Hand it over.
Okay. But... P.S. It's already half eaten.
No, not your PS. Your portfolio.
Oh, sorry.
Can you believe this?
Mr. Fontaine.
He's a buffoon, an absolute buffoon.
Mr. Fontaine.
A PS. Well, PS. You should be fired. What possessed me to hire him? Do I look like some clown to you? Does this look like a circus? Oh, I ask him a simple question, Mr. Veen. A simple instruction is what I give him, and then...
Blood pressure.
My blood pressure is fine. Mr. Veen, just show him the dummy sheet. Hopefully, he has the intelligence. Now, get to it, both of you. Time is ticking, and my hair is thinning. We've got a paper to print before that bloody fish fair.
Ryan, don't worry. If Mr. Fontaine doesn't shout at you at least once a day, something is very wrong.
I'll tell you what is wrong, though, is that I don't know what time to pick you up for the fish fair on Friday.
As tempting as it sounds, I'm going for work, not pleasure. Now you need to focus. This is the dummy sheet, which ironically requires a lot of brain power. You basically play Tetris and have to try and fit in every story, picture, headline onto the page. Oh, and don't forget the advertisements. You'd think there's a mall on every street, especially from that Todd Griffin. Now, Ryan.
You intrigue me, Mr. Veen.
Focus.
I've heard of your family's little reputation. It's quite scandalous.
Let me guess. The ladies' brigade told you? You know, I would turn the Pelican into a tavern just to spite them. Ha!
Oh, over my dead body? Get back to work, both of you.
Yes, sir. Who does take over the Pelican once, Mr. F retires?
Well, it's always been a family business, you see, but he has no children. I might as well be his heir, though. I have been here the longest.
Oh, you better give me a raise then. And your plans? Are you going to, what, bedazzle the old bird? What is...
Ryan, hide that.
Hide what?
Nothing. Just solitaire.
And well, am I some sort of broken record? Get back to work.
But yes, I want to stop feeding on this vine of tradition. Grace says that in the city, they're putting their newspapers online. Oh, but half of Gullford doesn't know what the internet is, and the other half thinks that Bluetooth is a brand of toothpaste. There's so many other ways to distribute news.
And do you ever perform at the,
Taunty Tavern.
Yeah.
Yes. But not like those girls. I just sell news.
Well, I'd get front row seats. For you, obviously. I'd love to see you perform.
Later. And before you get any ideas, my mother only manages the Taunty Tavern. She doesn't perform. No scandal in that.
It would be a scandal, however, if I were to visit the Taunty Tavern. Ooh.
If you want a scandal, then I'd publish this. You clearly have a face for words, but no brain to spell. I thought you went to a league school.
I tend to mix up some letters.
Don't use a newspaper when you dock the wog. Or, even more grand, if you play with fire, you'll get your bingers burnt.
He can't help it, Mr. Fontaine.
Oh, well, then tattoo the alphabet onto your hand. Your cartoons are decent, at least, so I'll give you 50 per cartoon strip.
But that'll barely cover my rent.
Oh, neither can my salary fix my bunions, but you don't see me complaining.
190.
70.
150.
That's outrageous. Deal. Now, where is Miss Sharple? If she's not here in the next hour, she's fired.
Oh, you say that every week. Clench the doorknob.
You're late.
My apologies, Mr. Fontaine. I lost my phone and the road was flooded.
Oh, so it took you 40 days to get here.
Who are you?
Never mind who he is, Grace. Did they call? Are suspicions confirmed?
Yes. I mean, no. But they did say they'd call today. I just can't find my phone.
I can't work in suspense.
We'll just have to wait and work. Now, remember, we've got to print before this fish fair on Friday. So, Miss Sharple, show Mr. Richards the old cartoons, and Miss Devine that dummy sheet.
You must be the new intern.
Yep, Ryan Richards. You look familiar.
I don't know you.
Ooh, your hands are cold.
Winter fingers. I sometimes wonder if they'll snap off.
Well, I have ovens for hands, so if you ever need some warmth... I'm joking. You don't have to.
Well, you must be a very good writer for Mr. Fontaine to hire you.
Nah, I think it's more my face. Mr. F says it'll bump up sales. No, but I'm actually here mainly to improve the gulls.
Gullies. And I wasn't aware that it needed improvement.
Are you kidding me? These things are a joke, and not in a good way.
I think they're funny.
They put me straight to sleep.
I think they're very funny.
No wonder the person was fired.
The person wasn't fired. She still works here.
I didn't know Dee Dee does the cartoons.
She doesn't.
I was obviously joking. Your humor is very mature.
I make educated jokes. No wonder you don't get them.
These are not the articles I asked for.
That is all that was said.
There are more important matters to publish, Mr. Fontaine.
Well, as much as I desire to, we can't have half the paper criticizing Griffin. Do you want us to get sued?
We need to take more risks. If we rattle the town with these articles, they would definitely go against Griffin.
Miss Sharple, you know very well that the town does not share the same sentiments as us. Why would they go against the man they keep electing?
If we publish all these articles, they'd at least begin to question their dear mayor.
No, because he'll just twist our words and turn the whole town against us. You know he's a bloody Pied Piper.
But we are the beak by which Gullford is fed. We're supposed to feed the town truth, even if they reject it. The town remains ignorant because we're too scared to lose Griffin's funds. When did we become his accomplice?
Miss Sharple, you know very well that I long for the end of Griffin and his siren industries. It's been my plight ever since I worked here. But we are legally not in a position to do so. If we publish this, we'll be sued for defamation of character, the town will boycott our paper, and the Pelican will cease to exist. Is that what you want? Now, lessen that righteous fury. I'll let you publish one story that isn't a horror novel. Put on page 4 after that cell phone article.
Oh, of course. The rise of technology is far more important.
Well, people are being scammed by these knocks.
Nokias.
Same thing. Now, Mr. Veen, I want you to put Griffin's ad after that.
What? You'd rather publish Todd Griffin's horrific ads than support a just cause.
We can't not publish them. How many times do I have to go over
Their
this?
plight is to end the fish industry, yet you continue to wipe Todd Griffin's ass.
All right. What about a coffee break? Okay?
Well, we can't break Griffin with a mere pebble.
My articles will have weight once we get the call.
The call? That's still a matter of speculation.
Speculation which can save the Pelican and the sirens.
Oh, enough with your blubbery. Until you have more concrete proof, I want to hear no more of these stories.
Stubborn old mule.
What?
I said, you're just a stubborn old mule.
Well, at least I'm not the only ass in the office.
You're not funny, Mr. Fontaine. You're a fossil whose retirement is long overdue.
And you're a fetus who should have been fired a long time ago.
A blood pressure.
My blood pressure is fine.
Mr. Richards.
Yeah?
I have a task for you. It's my phone, you see. The bloody thing is frozen.
Hey, Mr. F, I love playing bounce.
I was doing nothing of the sort. It just opened by itself, okay? And now I can't get rid of this idiotic ball. This is why you can't trust technology.
You said you wanted it for your birthday.
Just fix
Well,
it.
you see, you have to press that button there. That's the bat button. You have to press it twice to go out. But are you sure you want to do that, sir? I mean, you're already on level 7. That's quite far.
You know what? I'll figure this knockout myself. Why don't you go write out the alphabet or something stupid? And you'll be laughing when I fire you. What are you doing?
What just happened?
You'll get used to it. Every Monday morning around 10 o'clock, Grace and Mr. Fontaine have a little argument. Mr. Fontaine then plays a couple rounds of bounce. I laugh. He says he'll fire me, and then he storms out with his pipe.
Wow. I did not expect an office to be so vibrant.
Welcome to the Pelican.
Thank you.
Don't you think Mr. Fontaine has changed? Remember the days when he published anything, no matter how scandalous it was?
Well, he can't really be that young gladiator anymore. He has other people to care for.
I know. He's so old and vulnerable. If it wasn't for that griffin.
Okay, what is it with you and painting Griffin as such a monster?
His industries are inhumane. Imagine you were scaled, boiled, and then popped in a tin.
They're fish. We're meant to eat them.
They aren't the dumb creatures Griffin paints them as.
Well, if you don't like them, then just stop advertising his products.
Ryan, a newspaper's biggest income comes from their advertisements. Todd Griffin owns almost every store in Gullford.
You guys are very grateful to your benefactor.
We're poor. We can't help that we're forced to receive his funds.
There's always a choice, Dee Dee. The Pelican is just stuck in a paralysis of comfort.
Yeah, comfort that pays your salaries. I think that your mayor deserves more thanks than that.
He's only mayor because we are forced to give him publicity.
That darn man has never lost an election.
Unless a scandal were to resurface. Grace, when are you getting the call?
Wait, what's this call that I keep hearing about?
From the forensics.
Dee Dee!
Whoa, okay, who died?
No one died. It's only permanent employees can know.
Oh, okay, well, I'd say that I'm pretty permanent if I'm redrawing your cartoons.
Are you little arrogant?
All right. You two are so delightful. You know, I think it's time for some office bonding.
I am not throwing things at the ladies' brigade again. Besides, I haven't written half the articles, Mr.
I'm
Fontaine.
singing at the upcoming fish fair.
What? Why are you endorsing that horrid event? It's the epitome of cruelty.
I know, but it'll be good publicity for the Pelican and help your fish cause.
Our fish cause.
Yes. Okay. Sadie doesn't like Ryan, so Grace, please be in charge of sound. Ryan, you can...
Do an interpretive dance, make origami, sing in operata. I can do anything. Just ask.
Ask him to shut up.
Ryan, you can be in charge of Mr. Fontaine duty. Make sure he doesn't get in my way, especially when I bring out the cane. Last time, I almost poked his eye out. Okay. Grace, press play as soon as Mr. Fontaine comes in. You know how much he hates my songs. Press play!
I got it. Oh, come on, it won't work.
She won't let you play her.
Grace!
He broke it.
I didn't break it, you broke it.
Remind me to quit when I'm 60. Oh, no, Mr. Veen, I told you never again.
The pelican may feed on the vine of tradition, Mr. Fontaine, but it is time to turn that vine into wine. So buckle your belts and hold on to your headpieces, because the pelican has a story for you.
Oh, Mr. Veen, how dare you? Stop with this Broadway
The
blubbering.
land of fish and honey.
Stop your shilly-shallying this
A
instant.
little town along the deep blue sea,
I will hurt Sadie.
far away from the city.
The city can have you. This is against policy.
Gullford, our little town of fishing,
This is a newspaper.
has a fish fair that seems so benign. But morals are compromised.
Oh, no. No, don't.
Gullford's annual fish fair is the town's delight. Every June there's a ticket sale fight. Mayor Griffin founded it to shed some light on how the town is derived from his fish supplies, but they declined that it's a crime. Still, people want the fair to be streamlined. The sirens should not have to die. We can't ignore their plights no more. Their rights are being deplored. By eating them, we are cannibals.
All right. That's where I draw the line. Cannibals.
Oh, cannibals didn't rhyme.
Someone give her a raise.
But I'm not finished yet, Mr. Fontaine. I still have a whole cap sequence.
Oh, if I hear one more clickety-clack from you, you can tap your way out the door. Look, it wasn't that bad, Mr. Veen. Your work with the cane has certainly improved. Though I do remember hiring you as a journalist, not an entertainer.
I am not a mere entertainer. I am a river of influence, refreshing the minds of the parched.
And where'd you read that? A lollipop?
No, a water bottle. Mr. Fontaine, you may equate my singing with that septic tank, but I know this will bring up sales.
Has it ever before?
No, but before, I only performed in front of drunks. If I perform at the upcoming fish fair, the whole town will be there.
I do think you slightly sugar-coated the fish fair.
Not you too, Grace. Can't you see I'm fragile?
I don't mean to be cynical.
I think you were exquisite, Deezy. Oh, and clearly people who don't know a note from a crotchet would disagree.
A note is a crotchet. And I can sing. Tell him, Mr. Fontaine.
Well, that was the most traumatic birthday song I've ever heard.
Surely this song was better. Can I perform at the fish fair?
No, but write me 3 more drafts and I might reconsider. And I hope you ask the Ladies' Brigade if you can interrupt their little fish fair program.
Oh,
They won't say no to me. And if they do, I've got some good connections.
As in who? You just got here.
I'm well versed in the art of persuasion.
Rubbish.
I can make your little mind believe in dodos and dragons and that those cartoons of yours are actually funny.
Excuse me? I've seen your portfolio, and I will not be insulted by someone who is an alphabet short of intelligence. Why are you even here? You can't spell. You don't dress like you need the Pelican's salary. I wouldn't be surprised
Enough!
if you were some sort.
Both of you. Did I hire you to prattle or to publish? Look, there isn't time for all this What?
ooh. Hello.
Hey, Ryan here. Hello.
That's mine. It must be the call.
The call? Well, then find a phone.
It's not there.
I don't know what it looks like.
How does I know? Find
Hold
it.
it.
Oh,
Miss Sharple here. Yes.
What's this call about anyway? Is it about her stupid siren sentiments?
Ryan, don't say that.
Ugh, come on, I think it's just a little bit sad that she's so obsessed over some fish.
You would be too. If your parents both died trying to save them.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Fontaine!
and who does it belong to?
Enough with the suspense, Grace.
Has the lost been found?
And the found will be published.
Oh, yes!
Pop open that bottle and turn up those tunes.
Because the Pelican is taking flight. Ha! I knew my back never lies.
So, you'll publish my articles.
Well, I asked for more proof and I got it. Ooh, nearly forgot.
Oh, wait, where did you get that bottle, Mr. Fontaine?
Oh, from my secret stash. I have to hide it so that Mr. Veen doesn't throw it away. Now, let's celebrate.
Sure. What are we celebrating?
Where
Oh,
did you get that
victory.
bottle, Mr. Fontaine?
Oh, from Maury Morris. He dropped it off.
Brother Morris, the monk.
Oh, he is no longer a monk.
Mr. Fontaine, I'm pretty sure that's my grandfather's whiskey.
Okay, gather around, everybody. Gather around. Now, let us all toast to the free future of the Pelican. Cheers.
Cheers.
Miss Sharple, on a sabbatical.
No, I'm not thirsty.
No problem. More for me.
For small town whiskey, this isn't too bad. I mean, it's got a nice vintage timbre to it.
Oh, you won't find this quality in the north, I'll tell you.
Grace, what did you do with the discovery? You know, you said you'd show me.
Well, it started to take on a different form.
Well, I hope it's not a wrinkled mess when we submit it as evidence. I hope you had the common sense to preserve it.
Yes, I did. But you see,
See what? Oh no. You're not serious.
Grace, what is wrong with you?
there was nothing else to use.
So you just forgot to tell us?
I didn't forget. You said Mr. Fontaine took it.
Took what?
Oh no. Have you lost your mind? You can't store it in whiskey, least of all my whiskey.
It's not your whiskey, and the alcohol keeps it intact.
Keeps what intact?
A finger.
Finger.
What? What? Why?
Calm down, Ryan.
Calm down. I just drank whiskey with a finger in it. Where do you even get a finger from?
In a tin of fish.
Miss Sharple, what were you thinking?
I didn't have a choice. The finger was preserved in the fish oil, but when we took it out of the tin, the longer it was exposed to air, the more it started to look like a black Vienna. So I panicked and popped it into the first alcohol I found, which happened to be my grandfather's whiskey.
You still should have told us, Grace.
A lot happened that day. I was all over the place.
I put the whiskey on my desk, and when I came back, it had disappeared. You said Mr. Fontaine took it.
Mr. Fontaine said it was from Brother Morris.
No, he said he was dropping it off. The bloody man stole my money.
2 words, people. Miscommunication.
Oh, that's one word, you buffoon.
But I mean, surely it's not a human finger if it was in a tin. Fish.
It is. It's Mr. Fontaine's.
Dee Dee, don't tell him that.
All right. Calm down, everybody. Settle down. This is a newspaper, after all, not a circus. Now, since Mr. Richards has joined our team, we might as well indulge him on the past. The Ballad of the Severed Finger. Now, I was a young man in those days, and
Just a summary.
I was a young man when my father struggled to keep the Pelican afloat. So to help out, I took on small jobs, one of which was repairing machinery. There was, however, an accident. It was July 23rd, 1989, a cold winter's evening, and I remember every
He was
little
working overtime in Todd Griffin's fish factory. His finger got jammed in one of the machines and it was chopped off.
There were no witnesses, so there was no proof.
Well, I'm sure a chopped off finger is proof enough.
No, I lost the bloody thing. When the Red Sea is gushing forth from your hand, you won't first find the wooden staff.
Surely Mr. Griffin would have compensated you. I mean, it's a chopped off finger.
Oh no, he cared more about his pocket than his workers, and ethics was a shallow business in those days. But with our discovery and my possession returned, we will prevail, and justice will too.
It does look like a black Vienna.
Okay, now listen, all of you. We need to plan our next steps very carefully.
I still think we should present Todd Griffin with the evidence. He'll have to pay for your damages. And then we'll politely ask him to buy a better building for the Pelican. Oh, imagine having your own office.
You mean blackmail him?
It's not blackmail if it's polite. And it's for the greater good of the Pelican.
Mr. Fontaine, this will give my articles moral weight. You're right, the town doesn't care about fish, but it does care about scandals. Imagine it, chopped finger found in fish tin. The town will boycott his products, Todd Griffin will lose his position as mayor, and the sirens will be saved.
But if we twist his arm, we'll be able to expand and help the sirens. Catch 2 fish with 1 hook.
And your ads? Your precious, precious funding? What will happen to that?
Oh, Griffin will definitely pull his ads when the news breaks. In fact, he'll try to launch his own newspaper. But he'll come crawling back to us. Gullford's too righteous to support a scandal.
But surely if Todd Griffin crumbles, Gullford will do the same.
This place has already been falling apart. You've only seen the pastry giving and fish fair loving part of town. But Gullford isn't a haven. People have lost their lives trying to stop him.
All right, Miss Sharple, Mr. Veen. I'd like to talk to Mr. Richards alone, please.
Why? There's no time to lose, Mr. Fontaine. We need to publish my articles and stop the fish fair.
In due time, Miss Sharple, but for now, make your way to another room, please.
But this is the only room.
Or then go outside.
This is why we need to expand, Mr. Fontaine.
Yes. Now clench the...
Yes, I know the doorknob.
Ugh. Mr. Richards, my job is to deliver the truth. Now I know when it's not being delivered to me.
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
No one from the north leaves the comfort of their mansions to come work at a small town newspaper. So, what did he offer you?
What?
Your uncle, Griffin, what did he offer you? I have no intention of ratting you out, Mr. Richards, and your uncle's obsession with the mechanisms of this newspaper do not surprise me in the slightest. So, what did he offer you?
Security.
And your parents don't offer you that.
Not anymore.
I see. The Pelican is more than a newspaper, Mr. Richards. I didn't hire Grace and Dee Dee because of their background, but because of their potential. Believe it or not, I see that same potential in you.
But he's the only one willing to help me. When I say I have no one else,
I was a prodigal son myself once. You know, bummed around, caused trouble, had my parents bail me out a few times. Petty crimes. The Pelican's editor wasn't a title I ever wanted. Instead, I longed to leave Gullford, and to my parents' horror, I did. Boarded a train and went straight to the city. I tasted the freedom of city life for a month, and then my father had a heart attack. Collapsed right there on his morning edition. I couldn't run away anymore. But in this place, you know, I strangely felt rooted.
listen, sir, I want to help you. I truly do. But if we publish these articles, I betray him.
My father used to say that life is the unsteady hand which holds a pen. You may not be able to control the flow of the ink, but you can control what you write. A clear rosebud moment. Make sure that the story you publish, Mr. Richards, well, make sure that the story you write is worth publishing.
He's here.
He's just pulled into the parking lot.
Honestly, always bloody early.
Why don't we give Mr. Griffin some lovely whiskey?
Oh, put that away, Miss Sharple, and the two of you. I want no passive aggression.
I didn't mean to spill that coffee on him.
Or put a pin in his shoe.
What?
I'm joking. It was 2 pins.
Both shoes.
I give up. You're both a bunch of hooligans. Why don't we greet our dear mayor with his favorite tunes instead? Mr. Veen, blast the office with that syncopated pop.
But he hates jazz.
Exactly.
I got it.
Ryan, no. You'll break Sadie and then you'll... Oh.
Huh. Looks like I've gained everyone's trust.
Not mine. I can't believe you told Ryan everything. That lithe tongue of his will spread the whole story across
Now,
town.
Miss Sharple, Mr. Richards has more character than his hair suggests.
Again, what is wrong with my hair?
And regarding the finger, we'll take no rash action just yet. You see, I need time to mull over our next move. If we don't prune our beak properly, then we can't be the
beak by which Gullford is fed. Yes.
We know.
Well, then it better be engraved on your tombstones. Now, where are those pastries?
Oh, Grace had the last one.
No, Ryan did.
What? Dee Dee's had the box the whole time.
You know what? You're all a bunch of vultures.
Oh, gee, Mr. If you really are famished, you can rather have my lunch. Besides, after the whiskey, I'm not too fond of fish fingers. What?
Fish
Fish
fingers.
Oh,
Oh. Ah, you know, I really do love this old bird. Now, let's prepare ourselves for this next buffoonery.